Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Eagle Politics. Make sure you like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So today we're going to be talking about the Ohio gubernatorial race that is coming up. Very high profile primary. Mike DeWine, for a number of reasons, is facing scrutiny from the right and thus has several primary challengers. The problem is that this is not like Texas or even Georgia. There are no runoffs to the point where it is a winner-take-all primary, and too many primary challengers without a distinct frontrunner that will garner support towards the end of the race could end up meaning that DeWine will be receiving a second consecutive nomination and thus will likely receive a second term. So we're going to dive into this and talk about it, what it means, what needs to be done here. But I have to tell you guys about my good friends over at Noble Gold. Now, this year's going by pretty fast, huh? You're a year closer to retirement, but are your savings a year closer? If they're not and you're worried you won't make it, get in touch with Noble Gold about putting your precious metals in your IRA or 401k. You won't get hassled. They'll just lay out your options. And this month, they're gifting a free 10th ounce solid gold American Eagle coin with any qualifying plan you start. Call 877-646-5347 or visit noblegoldinvestments.com. Again, that is noblegoldinvestments.com. So here we go. This one poll came out at Trafalgar. Trafalgar is a fairly accurate poll, especially in the Midwest, especially in Ohio. But I haven't really seen much of their track record for primaries, mainly because they really haven't polled that many of them. And Mike DeWine is in the lead, but he's only at 41%. So a clear majority of Republicans in Ohio oppose Mike DeWine for various reasons, which we'll get into in a second. But the fact that Renacci and Blystone are both facing off against each other in this race, neither of them seems poised to drop out right now. It could pose a problem. So why is DeWine getting primaried, for those who may not know? Well, first of all, Ohio is a very pro-Trump state. It voted for Obama by 5 in 2008, by 3 in 2012, but voted for Trump by 8 points in 2016 and 2020. If you look at the map here, I mean, all these rural counties, he was running up 80% in a great deal of these rural counties in Ohio. Much of Ohio, contrary to many states across the country, shifted significantly to the right in many places in the 2020 election here. And Donald Trump, he won the state by much more than most people expected, except me, because I'm just the greatest, of course, when it comes to this type of stuff. But what we know is that Ohio's a very pro-Trump state. He's a very good fit for the industrial part of the state as well as the rural areas. The state is majority non-college educated white voters. And on cultural issues, DeWine is awful, downright awful. Now, this goes far beyond the COVID stuff. He was arguably Whitmer South, but as a Republican when it came to the mandates in 2020 and the way that he's handled the issue in 2021. So much so to the point where he appointed Amy Acton, who is a left-wing doctor, to lead the response to the pandemic. Amy Acton, by the way, just for the record, considered a Senate run in 2022 before dropping out because Tim Ryan was not far left enough. She was going to be running to the left of Tim Ryan in that election. That's how far left Amy Acton is and how weak somebody like Mike DeWine is. Also, DeWine is wishy-washy on CRT. He opposes a state law on transgender athletes. Pretty much everything that we trash Noam for also ends up applying to Mike DeWine as well. And we know this. But in 2022, the problem is he has multiple primary challengers, and it depends on the poll. Yeah, Trafalgar is an outlier, actually, because DeWine is ahead by so much and Blystone is doing so well. But in the Harris poll that came out, Renacci is defeating DeWine. He's up by 1 point. Blystone is down with 19%. Now, who's better, Renacci or Blystone? Blystone is more grassroots. He's probably, you could argue, would be a more right-wing governor. However, will he have the support of, let's say, Trump endorsing him? Because either way, in pretty much every poll, he's significantly behind and in third place. Well, Trump probably is not going to endorse Blystone because Trump does not want to risk his, endorsement record, and he sees Renacci as the front runner. Renacci is much more of a high-profile candidate, even though he may not be as grassroots or as good on certain issues. Either way, he is a massive upgrade from Mike DeWine. And Renacci has led most polling. He will almost certainly finish in first place or second place. So Trump needs to make an endorsement. That's step one. Trump can endorse Blystone or he can endorse Renacci. I mean, endorsing Blystone would shake things up, but then I would want Renacci to drop out of the race because that would mean DeWine would be more likely to win. But let's say Trump endorses Renacci. Then in that case, a lot of the grassroots support and even maybe a portion of DeWine support who doesn't really pay close attention but likes Donald Trump, they'll back Renacci and Renacci will win. So we need Trump to go out here and to endorse Jim Renacci so Renacci will actually end up winning. Now, the question is, what if Mike DeWine survives the primary? Would he win the general? I mean, probably. Eric Holcomb was just as bad on many issues in Indiana, and he won the general election. You'll see a big third-party candidate, though. A lot of right-wingers will vote third-party, but DeWine would probably do better around the Columbus suburbs than past Republicans or whatever because he's more establishmentarian. So they both probably would win, but with vastly different coalitions because, whatever Democratic candidate they're going to put up is probably going to be weaker. But it seems as if Renacci is the most likely option to win, probably the best realistic option just because Ohio does not have this primary runoff system. And this is a phenomenon that we're going to see in a lot of primaries where you have several solid candidates or just better candidates that are running as primary challengers, but they're going to be primary challenging the same person, and that same person may end up winning by default. I mean, there's a lot of challengers to Liz Cheney in Wyoming, even though I think with her, 17% approval, that the Trump endorsee is probably going to get better than 17% and will win no matter what. But there's several primaries where this phenomenon could happen and it could affect. But either way, it's going to be interesting to see at the end of the day who Trump endorses. It's also going to be interesting to see if Blystone ends up dropping out of the race as well if Trump does endorse Renacci. I'm not entirely sure if he would, but it probably would help defeat DeWine if that is the case. But either way, this is a contested primary. You're going to see contested governor's primaries in Idaho, Alabama, Ohio, Georgia, probably even a couple of other states you could see get close. So it's definitely going to be a long election cycle. Wanted to put this video out to tie you guys over. I've got this 32-minute documentary that I'm about halfway done editing on the South Carolina Republican Party. It's going to be epic. One of the best videos on the channel for sure when it gets done. Maybe Thursday. I don't know. We'll have to see, but it will be this week sometime for sure. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Please like this video down below, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Red Eagle out.